James Melendez, welcome to the tasting table. I have these wines from an Oregon producer called Vino Vasai, Potter's Vineyard. There's a Chardonnay, a Super Tuscan, a Sangiovese, and 2 Pinot Noir. Stay tuned, I'll give my thoughts, impressions, and point scores on each of these wines. Here we go with this wine first. So I want to talk about the Chardonnay. And so the Chardonnay is coming from Rattlesnake Hills, and this is Columbia Valley. Let me get my wine glass. And so this is a very small production wine, but it's very fitting because I think a lot of people are expecting Oregon producers to have Chardonnay today. So this is a very high elevation site, 1,000 Fasel, which is about 300 Masel meters above sea level, 13.9% ABV. So this is barrel fermented Sur Lie with batonnage, and so one of these barrels is new and the other three are neutral. So basically 25% new French oak. So 96 cases produced, $38 price point. So let me talk first about the nose. So the nose is presenting with notes of pear, apple, almond, and compacted seashells. Next is the palate characterization. So this is given a character of heirloom apple, oyster shell note, crushed oyster shell, and pine nut. Pine nut just definitely represents delicateness and freshness as well. So this wine is 92 points out of 100 points. And next I'll go on to the Sangiovese. So here we go. This is Vino Vasai, Columbia Valley Reserve, Sangiovese 20 vintage, back label for you to look at here. 13.6% ABV. Rattlesnake Hills AVA is a source of this fruit. And so this wine spends 2 months in new French oak and an additional 15 months in neutral oak. 71 cases are produced in total. Lovely crimson colorization. And I will say this in transparency, I'm always hesitant to try a New World Sangiovese because I definitely taste a lot of Italian Sangiovese. So I'm always surprised at how New World Sangiovese characterizes, not that Sangiovese has a great variance, but how it's produced in a New World style. That is a lot of oak. Very nice mouth-watering crushed red candy notes, cherry, a gentle spice characterization, and a feather-light floral expression. Next is the palate characterization. The centeredness on this wine is its acidity, and it's a character of deep red and black fruit notation, dried bay leaf notes, as well as clove, and I love the tartness from the Sangiovese fruit. So this wine is 92 points out of 100 points. Next is a Super Tuscan. Now we have this wine, Super Tuscan by Vino Vasai, Columbia Valley 20 vintage. Here's a back label for you to look at here, a 14.3% ABV wine. And so this too is being sourced from the Rattlesnake Hills AVA. And it's a combination, 55% of this is Cabernet Sauvignon, 33% of this is Sangiovese, and 12% Merlot, a 14.3% ABV, 128 case production. My preliminary tasting on this wine was, wow, this has surprised me. I thought it was an extremely well-made Super Tuscan or homage to Super Tuscan, because obviously this isn't from Tuscany, but it definitely represents that homage, especially with the fruit inputs. So I like the colorization, very deep violet colorization, a bit of vitreous, especially around the edges of the wine itself. So this wine is presenting with notes of red and black fruit notes, suede notes, dense wood, as well as autumnal spice. Next is the palate characterization. So this wine would be such an ideal pairing with food. And so I'm thinking a lot of things could go with this. Obviously salmon and stillhead trout, but also duck, lamb, pork, beef. I think it's a lovely vegetarian dishes. The acidity is just really singing a lot of praises for this wine. So I like the character of red and black cherry notes, simmering spices, clove, white pepper. And so this wine is a 93.1 out of 100 points. Now this wine is next. This is the Vino Vasai. This is the Laurelwood District Barrel Select Pinot Noir 21 vintage, 12.9% ABV, 12.9%. That's amazing. Back label for you to look at here. So I think this is what a fantastic experience, and I'll tell you more about this wine in terms of what this wine is composed of. The clones on this are 114, 777, 667, Sur Lie with batonnage, natural French oak, aged 11 months, and so this is 118 case production. Nose of mountain strawberry spice, fallen leaves, as well as wild herbs and violets. Next is the palate characterization. So before I talk about some specific notes, I love the character on many Oregon wine, especially this one, because Oregon Pinot Noir, is it really comes through in terms of, say, that triad. I'm giving a character of minerality, as well as savory notation and fruit notation. And so I think that's the beauty of this wine. So expressiveness of morello cherry, tart cherry notes, lovely acidity, white pepper, clove, and graphite. So a lot of things are going on with this wine. It's 93 points out of 100 points. Now here is the Vino Vasai. This is the Estate Pinot Noir 21 vintage. And of course, Laurelwood district in Chehala Mountains. And back label for you to look at here, 13% ABV. Now this wine contains the Pomart and 777 clones, 13% ABV, 97 case production. And so this is, I think, even a much more delicate color, slightly lighter than the Barrel Select. So very identifiable Chehala Mountains. Pinot Noir, I think it's absolutely elegant and beautiful. So very sophisticated nose here, red rose petal, mountain strawberry notes, as well as freshly sanded cedar, herb garden in the fall time, and spice notation. Next is the palate characterization. So gorgeous palate to this wine, vibrant acidity, notation of morello cherry, mountain strawberry, pepper, clove note, as well as dried sage. So a lot of things come with this wine, a bit of red tea as well. 94 points. So it's a nice diversity of wines that they do produce. You can visit the winery, you do need a reservation, and you can purchase these wines directly from the producer that receipts wines from Oregon. Thank you for watching. Stay connected, more video reviews to come, and I do appreciate it. In the meantime, you'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and WordPress. I will see you very soon. Salute.